Welcome to the London to Paris Eurostar Survival Guide. This is not the part where I tell you where to find the best croissant, although there will be time for that later. This is the part that keeps you tripped from getting stuck before the train even leaves. We're covering passports, visas, the new biometric checks, luggage, customs, children, and the tiny details that make the whole journey much easier. The Eurostar is a train, but the departure process is much closer to an airport. You arrive, submit your passenger information, pass security, clear the UK exit checks, clear French entry checks, and only then do you board. The good news is that once those checks are done, you can usually step off in Paris without another immigration queue. So the golden rule is simple. Plan for the station process, not just the train time. Before you get excited about a cheap ticket, check the passport. For France, the passport must have been issued less than 10 years before you arrive and must remain valid for at least 3 months after you plan to leave the Schengen area. It also needs to be readable and not reported lost or stolen. Here's the sneaky bit. An older passport renewed before October 2018 can look perfectly valid and still fail the Schengen issue date rule. Put it somewhere easy to reach. You will use it repeatedly. Visa, ETA, EES. 3 tiny acronyms, 1 large opportunity for confusion. A Schengen visa depends on your nationality and the purpose of your trip. British citizens can generally visit visa-free for up to 90 days in any rolling 180-day period, and that clock includes every Schengen country, not just France. The UK ETA is separate. It applies to non-exempt visitors coming to the UK, is linked to the passport, and Eurostar currently lists the cost as £20. Check the official site before booking, because travel rules enjoy changing at inconvenient moments. The Entry-Exit System, or EES, is not another visa application. It is a digital border record for non-EU travellers on short stays. At the border, you may have your passport scanned, a facial image captured, and fingerprints recorded. It is free, and you do not apply in advance. Children aged 11 or under will not have fingerprints scanned, although they may still have a photo taken. The practical advice is wonderfully unglamorous. Allow extra time, especially if this is your first registration. Here is the St Pancras play-by-play. First, arrive and find the Eurostar departures area. Second, make sure your API is complete. Without it, you may not be able to collect your ticket. Third, pass security. There is no airport-style liquid limit, which is excellent news for normal-sized toiletries. Then come the UK exit and French entry checks, including EES if it applies to you. Finally, you wait in the lounge and board. Standard and Plus passengers should arrive around 75 minutes early, Premier passengers around 45 minutes. The return journey is where many relaxed travellers suddenly discover the meaning of the word buffer. At Gare du Nord, you are not simply finding a platform and hopping on. You will complete ticket and API checks, security, French exit controls, and UK border control before boarding. Eurostar recommends 75 to 90 minutes for Standard and Plus, 45 to 60 minutes for Premier, and 60 minutes for accessible travel. My favourite practical tip: find the Eurostar departure area before you stop for coffee. Coffee is flexible. A missed train is much less so. Eurostar luggage is generous, but generous does not mean magical. Standard and Plus allow 2 pieces of luggage plus 1 hand luggage item. Premier allows 3 plus 1, and children get 1 piece plus 1 hand luggage item. On London routes, a piece can be up to 85 centimetres long. There is no weight limit, but you are responsible for carrying and storing your own bags. Also, unlike an airport, there is no standard liquid volume limit. The best packing trick is to keep your passport, medication, charger, and one snack in the small bag, not at the bottom of the big suitcase. Security's less interested in your shampoo than in the strange object hiding in your luggage. Firearms and replicas, ammunition, explosives, flares, pepper spray, fuel, offensive weapons, illegal drugs, and London route e-scooters are all serious no-go items. Flick knives and locking pocket knives are banned. There is only a narrow exception for a small, non-locking folding knife under the relevant size limit. Prescription medication is allowed, but if you're carrying oxygen, insulin equipment, or a large quantity of medicine, bring a doctor's letter. When in doubt, check before you travel, not at the security belt. This is the moment when your humble station sandwich becomes an international incident. Meat, milk, and products containing them generally cannot enter the EU, so that ham and cheese sandwich may need to be finished before the border. Returning to Great Britain also involves current restrictions on dairy and many meats. Certain sealed infant and medical foods are exceptions. Cash has its own rule. Entering France with €10,000 or more, or the equivalent, must be declared. Customs is separate from immigration, so a valid passport does not make restricted food acceptable. Travelling with children or multiple passports adds a few extra details. Every child needs their own travel document. Under 4s can travel free without a ticket, only when sitting on an adult's lap. Ages 12 to 15 need a responsible person aged 16 or older, or the right paperwork for unaccompanied travel. Dual British and EU nationals should carry both passports. EU residence permit and long-stay visa holders are generally outside EES scope, but carry proof. And if you are staying with a private host in France, you may need an original attestation de quai. Photograph the paperwork, but keep the originals with you. Here is the screen to save before you leave home. First, passport past the 10-year issue date and 3-month expiry test. Second, visa or ETA checked. Third, API submitted and tickets downloaded. Fourth, you are arriving at least 75 to 90 minutes early, depending on your station and travel class. Fifth, restricted food is out of the bag and any cash declaration is sorted. Rules depend on nationality, residence, purpose, and itinerary, so check the live official guidance before travel. Then, and only then, go find the croissant.